All right, good morning everyone. Welcome to our virtual tabling. So today we're going to talk about the importance of sleep. So sleep is very important for us. It's very important for our overall health. And so today we'll talk about why exactly we need sleep, the different risks that can happen if you don't get enough sleep, and different ways you can kind of improve your sleep. So let's get started. So first, what is sleep? Kind of a weird question, but sleep's an essential function. We all need it, and there's two main forms of sleep. So you have non-REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement, and then you have REM sleep. Um, so non-rapid eye movement sleep is divided into three different stages: one, two, and three. And three is kind of the most important because it's at this point, this is when your body is starting to refresh itself, when a lot of the healing is done. So it's very important that we get that third stage of non-REM sleep. REM sleep is also important. It's important for memory, and this is actually when you have dreams. Um, is when you're in that REM sleeping stage, and so you'll cycle between non-REM sleep stages one, two, and three, and then finally REM sleep, and you'll cycle about 90 to 120 minutes each time. And this will happen until you basically wake up. So you might go through maybe like two, three, four, cycles um, per night. And so, why exactly is adequate sleep important? So, there's a lot more reasons than just these. We're just kind of scratching the surface here. But so, getting adequate sleep helps maintain our hormone balances. So, I have three up here. So, for example, ghrelin, which makes us feel hungry, and leptin, which makes us feel full. And so, this also plays into different risks. So, for example, one of the risks of not getting enough sleep is that um, your risk of obesity tends to go up. And this is because if you're not getting enough sleep, a lot of these specific hormones that make us feel hungry or make us feel full, they're not they're not in balance, and so you can tend to overeat. And then similarly with insulin, it's important to have that balance of insulin, and not getting enough an adequate amount of sleep can damage that. Our body also heals itself during sleep and also supports our immune system. So if you're sick, that's why getting a good night's rest is good. Good for that sickness. It helps us keep us safe and alert. So of course, the longer you're awake, the less your reflex. You have less reflexes. You're not as alert, and that can actually put you in danger. And then in addition, getting enough sleep is also important for children and teenagers because it helps support their growth and development. And so there's different risks for continually getting poor sleep. So the first one I'll go into is you have an increased risk of heart disease. And so the body heals its blood vessels and its arteries while you're sleeping. So this kind of makes sense. If your body isn't able to heal those adequately, then um, you're at an increased risk of heart disease. And kind of what we just talked about, an increased risk of obesity as well as diabetes. This is because you're not, your hormones are out of balance, and so it's affecting your hunger, and it's also affecting you know your insulin sensitivity. And in addition, um, it also impairs your immune system. So your immune system is very important or sleep is very important for your immune system. So you want to make sure that you're getting adequate night, an adequate nice.
Stacy, can you please call security 5015? Stacy.
Sorry about that. It's important to get a good amount of sleep in order for your immune system to work properly. So how much sleep do we exactly need? It tends to decrease the older you get. By the time you're an adult, you can get away with 7 to 8 hours. However, the younger you are, the more hours you generally need. So of course, infants typically sleep a vast majority of the day, and then children and teenagers need about 9-10 hours of sleep each night. And so now we'll go into the different things you can do to kind of increase the quality and the quantity of sleep. So the first method you can try is sticking to a sleep schedule. And so this helps regulate our internal clock. So if your body is is used to getting up at, say 7 o'clock each morning, your body will start to become accustomed to that. And then, you won't throw yourself, out of that internal clock. And it's also important to note that you want to do this the same time every day, including the weekends. So I know it's easy to kind of sleep in on the weekends, but try to fight it if you can. And then one way too you can kind of help stick with the sleep schedule is by making a sleep diary. And this is also nice because you can give this if you're having insomnia, or you feel like you're having problems with your sleeping, then you can take this to your doctor to kind of get a sense of what's going on when you're sleeping. You also want to avoid caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol. So caffeine can actually affect us for up to 8 hours after you drink, a caffeinated drink, or if you have chocolate or something like that. So it's important to really limit your caffeine in the afternoon before you go to sleep. Nicotine. You also want to cut back on nicotine because nicotine is also a stimulant that can keep you awake. And then you also want to limit the amount of alcohol you're drinking, especially before you go to sleep. Um, it's kind of weird because alcohol can make you go to sleep, but what alcohol does is it prevents you from entering in those deeper stages of sleep. So rather than getting into that level 3 where your body is doing a lot of healing, it kind of lingers in that level 2 of non-REM sleep. And then of course exercising regularly. So exercising will raise our body temperature, and so then as our body temperature falls, we start to become more drowsy. And so it's best to exercise in the morning or afternoon, so that way your body has enough time to kind of raise its temperature, and then gradually throughout the day it'll start to lower, and then you'll start to become more tired in the evening. And of course, exercise provides us with numerous other benefits from our mental health as well as our physical health too. And then another method you can try is try to relax 1 hour before bed. And this is kind of broad, but what you kind of want to do is you want to avoid electronics that give off a bright light. So try staying away from a computer or from your phone. It's kind of hard with today's world, but even 15 minutes to a half hour is good, because that bright light, um, your body senses that bright light, and then your body starts to think, oh, I'm seeing all this light, it must be daytime, we can't be asleep, kind of thing. You can also try using relaxation techniques, so deep breathing or meditation. Avoiding strenuous exercise, so you don't want to do very strenuous things before you go to sleep, just because your body won't have enough time to lower its body temperature, and you won't necessarily become too drowsy. And then another tip you can try is taking a hot bath or shower, about an hour before you go to bed. Again, to kind of emulate that drop in temperature to help you get to sleep. And so that is all that I have for you today. So as always, let us know if you have any questions. You can comment below, or you can email us at healthpromotion@glick.net. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next time.